happening right about now.
What's going on? It's the Felix Sama Podcast. Oh man, we are locking into a conversation that hits way too close to home for anyone who spends grueling hours on their feet, whether you're a singer, tracking vocals for 12 hours, a producer locked in front of a mixing board, or an athlete grinding through a heavy training block. Right now, I'm personally wearing a pair of TuneZ Footwear, and I can tell you firsthand, it genuinely feels like a pillow, like you're walking on a pillow, but with full structure and protection of a sneaker. Today, we are sitting down with the founder and CEO behind the brand, Michael Stover, where, we're going to chop it up for a bit, right? We're going to talk about his journey from Cleveland to South Florida, how he went from a major health setback and a partial toe amputation, that has got to be serious, to disrupting the orthopedic shoe industry with his invention of these shoes, man. I mean, they're crazy comfortable. I'm just being honest with you. And how he's bringing the gap between clinical grade support and streetwear culture. Plus, we're diving into his massive Project Irie, an initiative helping rebuild Jamaica, and how creators, venues, and organizations can plug in and buy in bulk. So let's get into it, man. Welcome, Michael.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, man. When you were going off everything, I'm like, man, I did all. Man, I forget all the stuff that I do. Hey, I've done so much.
You gotta look in the mirror. Is that really me? Is that me?
Yeah,
Did all that?
Oh man, that all happened.
It all adds up, man. When you got a good heart and you have positivity in your mind, body, and soul, the accolades of what you do, not only for your family, but what you do for the community starts to stack up. That's that purpose stack. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's a beautiful thing. So obviously you're running this thing here, TuneZ Footwear. Now, what made you come up with the title TuneZ Footwear?
It's really mainly because I'm a DJ. That really sparked the whole thing for having it named as Tunes, but there's a double entendre to it. So tunes, music, feel good music. But then also what I like to tell people is if you have a finely tuned piano, that piano is tuned to your skill set. Depending on if you're a beginner, intermediate, or expert, they tune that piano to your skill set. Now, for orthopedic footwear, they tune that shoe to your foot set by giving you the custom made insoles and things of that nature. So that's why we call it TuneZ Footwear, because I'm a DJ, but then it's also because it's orthopedic. So it's all in one. Yeah,
you're tuning your feet to the rhythm so that you can feel the beat. I like that. So you're originally a Cleveland boy, right?
Yeah, born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. I moved out to Miami, Florida about 2019 and never looked back. It's kind of funny how I moved. I moved down here with 2 bags of clothes and my DJ equipment packed into the back of my boy's moving van and never looked back. I didn't even have a job when I came. I found everything when I moved here.
Wow, that's crazy. So, but you have a bachelor's in communication from Kent State University, right?
Yeah, I have a bachelor's from Kent. I have a master's from Full Sail in entertainment business.
I went to Full Sail.
Hey, all right, alumni.
Come on now.
And I have 21 credits towards a doctorate in information systems and technology management from the University of Phoenix.
Yes, that's impressive. That's great, man. So I would imagine that all that education has applied to your service of what you're doing now.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is really applied to my ability to research. Because through your master's program and your doctorate program, that's really all you're doing is research. And the more research I did for both of those degrees, it makes it so much easier to know where to search for things that I need for my footwear company.
Yeah. And you're also a member of the NSLS, right?
Yeah, the National Honor Society for Success and Leadership. I got that last October because I was holding a 3.67 in my doctorate program.
Very nice, man. I like that. Now let's talk a little bit about life and purpose, right? Because I'm a God-fearing man, and we had a conversation the other day, and I told you about my Prayer Up Frequency YouTube channel, and I told you, yeah, Mike, I love doing these Christian tracks, and I do a little bit of hip hop, R&B, house, soulful house. I do Latin hip hop. I do reggaeton. I really mix it up, man, because that's where I come from. I'm a multicultural kind of guy. You know what I mean? So I like to dib and dab in different genres. So, and when you put faith lyrics behind those beats, for me, speaking only about me, I feel the youth can relate more to those type of sounds because it's closer to the frequency that they groove in. And having positive messages within those frequencies, to me, is a win-win for everybody.
No, for sure. You know, I dabble in some of the music as well, and I find myself not even listening to what's on the radio no more or any of that jazz, you know what I'm saying? Because with the Christian music that you create as well as I do myself, it has that frequency and that beat that if you were listening to Hot 103 or 99 Jams, it has the same beat flow.
Yeah.
But the message changes the whole atmosphere. And
it really does.
I find myself in moments where if I'm having a rough day or even a good day, I put that on and it just sets the vibe, you know?
Yeah.
And
you know what's funny? I'm gonna tell you what I started doing. It's crazy, bro. What I started doing now is I journal a lot, right? So I'm journaling, you know, everything that I'm grateful for. So, you know, it may be like one day it'll be 15, 20 things that I'm grateful for on that specific day, of things that are actually happening in real time, things that are going to happen in the future, things that have happened in the past. So I'm jotting down, I'm vocally recording all this stuff that I'm grateful for. And then I put a track to it. And then I record it with the track and I just listen back. And it's like it's a journaling song, and it's so therapeutic, man. I mean, like, I was like, man, how come I never thought about doing this before? I'm a freaking producer.
Right.
And I love, you know, spoken word and all that. I'm like, I mean, come on, Sama, this is it. This is how it gets embedded into my mind, and this is how I manifest the things that I want to happen in my life, by recording it and putting a beat to it. It's like, for me, it's, I don't know for anybody else, but for me, it's working.
No, it definitely works. Trust me.
In my mind, I think that there should be more churches, and you told me about this, that you were DJing at your church. There should be more churches with DJs and spoken word and singers, and not doesn't have to necessarily, and I'm not taking anything away from bands and live choirs and all that. That's still all good and dandy. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to downplay that, but we also need another model that's going to relate to these kids as well.
Imagine having, and you know, it's back home, a church that I used to be a member of, it was called Span Ministries. They had like this little nook inside of their church for the youth ministry to commune at. And they had events where they would do spoken word, DJ, open mic, and stuff like that, but everything will be worship focused. So all the content will be worship focused. But you should have seen how many kids come out in thralls, like just groups on groups of people just to be there for that event, because they felt home, they felt protected, but it was also a way to, you know, praise God and worship in your own way too, in a creative way that people your age would understand. So
you know, to me, it's just, and not to get too much into, you know, the faith thing, but it's just important to me, because I truly believe that the closer you are to God, the more you can bring light into everything that you do, and you can break any generational curse that may be festering you. You know, with that being said, you know, journaling and doing positivity and messaging to yourself, writing to yourself, being good to yourself, all of that, man, that's therapy, man. That's therapy to break any kind of, you know, lie-identity. I call it lie-identity. Any kind of lie-identity that you've been living with, you know, because of people telling you that you can't make it, that you'll never amount to anything. That's a lie-identity, okay? You need to break and shake that off so that you can start living your identity. And those different practices will help you along the way. And read those audiobooks, man, those empowerment audiobooks. That helps too. What has helped you the most overcome hurdles in your life that has gotten you to where you were able to start this company, able to tap into the community, and able to really live your purpose and feel like you really doing something. Attention producer DJs, artists, and music creators, listen up. Talent is not enough anymore. You might have the songs, you might have the skills and the sound, but listen, if you don't have a money plan, you are leaving income on the table. That is why I'm inviting you to the Music to Money Masterclass. It's happening September 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'll be joined by Billboard Songwriter of the Year and super producer Louis Martinet, the man behind massive records, legendary artists, and real music industry success. Together, we're gonna show you how to stop thinking like only a DJ, producer, or artist and start building like a music business CEO. We're gonna cover how to position your brand, promote your music, build your audience, create income streams, and turn your talent into real revenue. No fluff, no industry fairy tales, a real conversation on about what it takes to turn music into money. And I'm also giving away my free PDF, DJ Sama's Producer Profit Playbook. It gives you 10 practical ways producers, DJs, and artists can create more income beyond gigs and streams. If you want the playbook, comment the word music. Again, comment music and I'll send it to you, okay? Music to Money Masterclass is going down September 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern. I want to see you there. DJ Sama and super producer Louis Martinet will be in the house. Let's turn the music into money right away.
Honestly, becoming an active listener. That's really how a lot of any of my businesses, any opportunities I had, anything became a concrete thing from being an active listener. You know, just being around certain groups of people, networking, or even at church or family events or anything like that. I'll hear something and my gears start to turn. It's like, ooh, that's a pain. I got to find a way to solve that. Ooh, that's something that's never been built. I got to find a way to solve that. Or anything. I could be at a school and they could be talking about different ways that kids are just not studying the right way or finding opportunities for this thing, that thing. I'm just like, oh, I got to find a way to make that an opportunity. And a lot of my movement has came from that. And then with my injury for me to start the shoes, it wasn't so much active listening to someone else. I was listening to my own body at this point. Because my podiatrist is basically saying you can no longer wear traditional sneakers anymore. What you gonna do? You know, and I've never gotten into a sneaker business before. I don't know anything about it. I tried it with the live shoes and that was not it. But me starting my own business, I've never done that before. And I just listened to the pain point that needed to happen. And when she said you had to wear those shoes, I'm like, I'm not wearing them ugly things. And she said, well, you're a graphic designer, design your own. And if they look good enough, maybe I'll invest. As soon as she said that, I'm like, I'm listening. Let me make something about it. Because if she will invest, I'm pretty sure there's other people that will invest.
Yeah.
And here we are with 3 investors now. So it's all about active listening.
Yeah, and you know, you're addressing a pain point for a lot of people, especially, you know, when you get older and you're overweight. When you're overweight and your joints start to hurt, that's a big problem for people. And they really don't know what to buy if they don't have a doctor that specializes in that. It's just a shot in the dark. I'll be honest with you. You know, doctor shows at Walgreens. You know what I'm saying? Like people,
right.
You'd be surprised how people don't do the research, man. They just watch a commercial and they're like, oh, that's supposed to make me feel better if I put a doctor show thing in that thing right there, and then I go, wow. Well, I put it on. I kind of feels the same. I feel a little cushion, but it ain't really doing like no real service to me. But I don't know any better.
And that's the biggest teller with the shoes, because a lot of people don't know any better. And then when you put on a pair of mine compared to the ones that you wear every day, that's when you find out.
Yeah, it was like 9 days. Like you gave them to me. I was doing that one event down there in Fort Lauderdale at that Jay Steakhouse thing. And I just came by you, you know, and you was like, hey, what's up? And I was like, hey, what's up? And then we just started talking and you introduced yourself and I said, you know, how you doing? Then you go, yeah, man, I'm gonna go check you out later. And then you came to the DJ booth and you were like, yo, I got a present for you. I was like, oh yeah, what's up? And you busted out the shoes. I was like, for real? You were like, yo, these are the best sneakers you're ever gonna wear. And truth be told, that particular size was a little small for me, but I still put them on and I was like, wow, these feel like super comfortable. I'm gonna call them tomorrow and tell them I need a bigger pair. And sure enough, I called you the next day. I was like, yo, Michael, man, I love your sneakers, bro, but I need a bigger size. And you sure enough hooked up with me and gave me the bigger size and I put them on and I was like, man, this is the joint right here, because I've bought, you know, orthopedic shoes before, but yours, like the wide toe and the way it made me feel was second to none. I've never felt that comfortable in a pair of sneakers before, truth be told.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's that bounce in the heel does a major thing.
Why are they so comfortable, man? Like what secret sauce you got in them things, man?
I mean, I can't deliver everything because we're waiting on the patent application to go through.
Oh, okay.
But I can just basically say that we build it a certain way so that the shock absorption and the heel support is well intact, because that's a big thing when it comes to having a great shoe. My podiatrist said that a sneaker should only bend in one place, and that's the toe. If your shoe bends in any other place, you're going to have foot problems eventually, because it's not giving you your foot the right support that you need to walk or run or stand. Yeah. So when we built the shoe, we made sure those things were addressed before we did anything else, because if we have those things addressed, everything else pretty much falls into place. And, you know, there's some people that'll say like, hey, what about my orthotics? You know, you could put your orthotics right on top of our insoles and keep the same feeling, because we make our shoes so deep that you can have a lot extra room for your feet, but it's not space deep. We put a deeper shoe, but we put cushion in the shoe. But that cushion also gives way if your feet are fatter, if they swell, it gives way, but it still hugs your foot in a comfortable way that it doesn't feel like you just have an extra spacey shoe.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. You know, I mean, if your feet could talk and they would say, oh boy, I'm about to get big right now. It's going to be a problem with these sides. It's about to get big. And your shoe's like, don't worry, I got you. I got you, bro.
That's the crazy part. Like, because I'm one of those people, my feet swell, you know, and you never know. Just as soon as you put your foot in the shoe, your feet start to swell and you keep walking around. You're like, man, but I don't feel the difference. It still feels good.
Yeah. The real test for me was, and then I'll ask you a question, but the real test for me was, I wear tennis shoes when I play racquetball, because, you know, those are the best ones to wear when you're playing, or basketball shoes, either one. They got the right soles, right? So I wear those to play racquetball. And if I play 4 or 5 games, you know, the next day I wake up, I'm good. But if I get excited and I want to really get it in and I'm winning and I want to play more games, I'll play like 8, 9 games of racquetball. And they're like, you're talking about 20-minute games. You know what I mean? So like we there for like 3 hours. And the next day I'm hurt. I ain't gonna lie. I'm hurting a little bit, right? And what I noticed was when I played racquetball with the TuneZ sneakers, I woke up the next day like nothing ever happened to me. So even with the movement because when you play racquetball, you're going back and forth, you're going side to side. I mean, you jerking and working, you know what I mean? And that's something to be said about them shoes, man, because they made me feel like $1 million the next day through all the hours of racquetball that I played.
Yeah, no, that's the biggest thing when it comes to these shoes. Like the most I've spent wearing these shoes was a 15-hour day. I woke up at 8 a.m. No, I went to an event at 8 a.m. So I was there from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. at a Black Men in Tech conference. I was there all day walking from room to room. And then after the event ended, they had like a little a dance party afterwards. So I stayed for the dance party, left there at maybe 11:30, close to midnight, and then went home and walked around in my shoes because they were still that comfortable. And had no issues, none. Jumping, running, walking, standing. It felt like I was walking on a pillow the entire time.
I think I'm going to call my brand the Sama Skywalking Edition.
Skywalkers. Okay.
You like that, huh?
That. The Skywalkers. I like that.
Yeah, I like that. You know, no pun with Luke Skywalker, but yeah, just a Skywalker though, the Skywalking edition. I like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we can get into that. So tell me a little bit about the Project IRE of relief movement supporting Western Jamaica.
Listen, most venues do not have a location problem. They have an entertainment problem. The night feels slow. The music misses the crowd. The lighting feels way flat. The promotion is weak. The room has no clear identity. That's where Sama Entertainment Consulting comes in. I'm Felix Sama. We help nightclubs, lounges, restaurants, and venues turn slow nights into signature nights. We study the room. We identify the right audience. We build stronger theme nights. We bring in the right DJs, live bands, hosts, and entertainment. We improve the sound, lighting, visuals, music programming, marketing, promotions, and customer experience, because a great night is not one thing. It is the right mix of energy, strategy, talent, production, and promotion. When the room feels alive, people stay longer. They spend more. They come back, and they bring their friends. Sama Entertainment Consulting gives your venue a real entertainment strategy, not guesswork. If your venue has slow nights, empty dance floors, weak themes, or no reason for people to return, let's fix it. Book a venue strategy call today. Sama Entertainment Consulting. Let's pack your place.
So the Project IRE is basically a testament to Jamaica. You know, I'm not Jamaican, but I look at myself as a born again Jamaican. I tell people that all the time. Like, I love the culture. And when everything happened with Hurricane Melissa, you know, I was like, I got to find a way to give back, because I didn't have the funds to give it to them. So I'm like, what else can I do? So I created the Project IRE. Basically, 30% of every sale of Project IRE would go to a pot that I would then give to my church, because he has a very strong connection with the General Council of Jamaica to rebuild homes, rebuild manufacturing, as well as the agricultural state of Jamaica, to get them back on board. And these shoes, I look to do that. Now, I haven't done too much with the shoes yet, because, you know, funding at the end of the day. But by getting 150 shoes sold with the Project IRE would give me enough to really start to push it. And basically how it went was 30% will go back, right? But also buy one, give one. So if you bought a pair of shoes, I would give a pair to someone in need in Jamaica. You know, by doing all of that though, I would still need the inventory. So that's why it kind of pushed back. But we were able to give at least, I think, like 10 or 15 pairs of shoes to people that purchased. My manufacturer is very understanding with the situation. So he basically gave us a way for me to get a small order run, so that everyone that did pre-order for some shoes were able to at least take them home.
Nice. That's very cool. Now, I know you have different styles. Let's talk about where should I go here to get right here, Shop All Footwear, to watch all the styles?
I took a lot of them down because too many people were trying to buy the other styles, not the ones we had actually available. So right now, we only have the black and white and the black ones, because those are shoes and shirts that you can get today.
Okay, yeah, I've got the black and white ones, which I absolutely love. They are the thing. They're my things. They're my things. I love them, man. I bought a pair of laces for him there. I got black and white laces for him now. So, you know, I'm starting to trick him out. I'm tricking out my shoes, man. What else is cool here? What's this milestones about?
So the milestones is basically an overview of what we've done since we started in 2023.
Okay, I see it right here. TuneZ Footwear was born in 2023, 24, invested into for 120,000 and received our first 1,000 in inventory. Oh, that's pretty cool. People can follow your journey. Florida Panthers Award, DJ Chuck Chill Out. Yeah, we got to talk about Chuck. So you got him on board as an endorser of the footwear. That's pretty cool. Signature collection launch. Now, what colors did he want to get, Chuck?
So his shoes is on here as well. If you go to the home page, you can see his shoes on the home page. So scroll down to the midsection. To the right, you'll see the chill outs.
Okay, I see them. Okay. All right. Nice. Very nice. Now, you did show me like football team styles.
Yeah,
you had the
I
dolphin.
showed you the dolphin colors, the hurricane colors, and we also have the Miami Marlin colors, all red pair, and what else we have? We have another one that the Aidi Rise. That's under the diaspora because that one's going to be dedicated to Haiti, because I feel like you can't say something for Jamaica and not say something for Haiti. So I definitely put the Aidi Rise on there. But the plan with the diaspora line is to give homage to all the countries. You know, Jamaica started it because of everything that happened with Hurricane Melissa, but I wanted to make sure that every country had footwear that they can wear. Because when you think about it, Carnival comes around, what do? Walk all day. Walk, dance, walk, dance. And to have comfortable shoes on to do that would help everybody out, because now the party would never end because we don't want anybody to get tired and want to go home. Think don't hurt.
You got a back to school special going on right now?
Yes, sir. Back to school right now. You can get all the shoes on the site for $95.99, which is normally $138.99. And when that sale is going to run for the entire month of August.
Very nice. Very nice. I'm sure that there's a lot of parents out there that would want to get that hookup. I also have a hookup. I have my own link to the shoes. So look at the description and you can click on that. Real easy to order these shoes, right, Michael? All you got to do is go up on TuneZ Footwear. Where do we go from here? If I wanted to order a pair, I shop now. There it is right there.
Yeah. Why wait? Order now. It'll take you straight to the next screen to put in the order for either one of the shoes. And you can also get the sweater and the tees.
Add to the bag. You got sweaters. You got tees. Nice. Check out right there. $95. I get my discount later. You know what time it is. Well, we good like that. All right, man. I love this, man. I love that you are an entrepreneur that believe that you could start your own, because, I mean, why not? I don't believe in scarcity. I really don't. I think that there's more. You know, God says be fruitful and multiply and have dominion. Everyone can have their own kingdom. I truly believe that.
Scared money don't make no money.
That's right. That's absolutely right. So what are we doing to finish out the summer and going into the fall? Do we have a movement, a nonprofit that we're rolling with, a new design? What are we doing to finish out 2026? So
the biggest thing right now is exposure. We're trying to get our exposure up so high that we're doing at least 100, 200 shoes a month in sales. That's the biggest thing for the ramp up this year. But something that's going to start at the top of the year, and this is still new, so I could touch on it, but I don't want to go into it too far. But we're working on a partnership with KIPP Academy, the charter school for their new high school that they're doing in North Miami, for TuneZ Footwear to run their curriculum for the spring semester, to teach them how to start a sneaker brand from the ground up and go through a whole lesson plan so each student can get the understanding of what it takes to build that type of company, but also turn it into a competition of sorts between each of the students, where each group gets to work as their own company. And at the end of that semester, whichever company has the best looking shoe, the best business plan, business model, can then get their shoe actually created.
That's great. We need more mentorship programs like that.
Yeah.
You know, because these schools are not teaching the kids and setting them up for success to run their own businesses. Absolutely
They're not. Like, when I was in high school, they didn't say nothing to us about anything, business, credit, none of that.
Because they want to keep you dummy down. They really do. They want to keep you dummy down, working your 9 to 5 and not even thinking about being a CEO of anything.
Right. And that's why it takes, other business owners to step in and like, all right, well, if the county's not going to show you, I'll show you.
Yep. So you run the sizes all the way up to 16?
Yes, sir. From 6 to 16. And what I've also noticed that we've sold shoes to people who wear a size 17 that the 16 still fits. I have a couple guys that wear a size 17, and I was shocked on how many people I know that wear a size 17. But they put those shoes on and they said they fit. They fit well, and they wear them every time they go to work.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm a 10. I can't imagine being a 6. That's like Shaq size. Shaq's probably bigger than the 16.
No, Shaq like a 22.
What?
Yeah, he up there.
Yeah. I met
LeBron's
Shaq.
a 19.
I met Shaq one time. I was DJing down there at the what's the name of that hotel? The Diplomat Hotel. And he came in there and he came in the DJ booth and he was like, I'm a DJ too. I said, okay, Shaq, go ahead, rock with it, baby.
Yeah, DJ Diesel.
He threw on one song, 1 or 2 songs. That's amazing. So what kind of clientele has been buying the shoe thus far?
The biggest event to hit your city is coming. DJ Sama, throwback tour. Get ready to revive and relive the classics. Freestyle, 80s house, 90s dance. Miami's finest is hitting hard and hitting the road. DJ Felix Sama lights up the dance floor with the throwback sound that started it all. From the club to the concerts to your city's biggest stages, it's time to set it off.
Hey, it's DJ Sama. I'm coming to your area code. I'll see you at the throwback tour. Let's turn it out.
For bookings and tour info, call 305-525-0869.
Mainly your hardcore careers that stand on their feet all day. So your nurses, your doctors, barbers, stylists, law enforcement, teachers. Those are our biggest ones. And then you have the servers in hospitality. They love the shoes because all they do is stand and walk all day long. The only difference is they're better for the servers that don't need non-slip. They have good traction, but I wouldn't qualify the shoe as non-slip because if it's extra oily, I don't want to be responsible for that. So I wouldn't say that they're non-slip, but they do have good traction for light, slippery situations.
Yeah, what do you think is like, I mean, not to put anybody down, but what do you think is like, some of the bad practices that some other shoe companies may have? And this was another reason why you got into the shoe game besides what you mentioned already. I
mean, honestly, especially when you think about orthopedic, it's style. Like that is a huge reason why I had to do it. Because and I don't want to name drop, but like certain brands out here that are big, they are good on comfort, but you're not wearing them to any brunch.
Orthopedic, yeah.
You're not wearing them to brunch. You're not wearing them to conference. You're not wearing them to work. The only time you'll really put these shoes on is when you're running errands. You're not worrying about nobody looking at you. But if you're going anywhere where eyes are going to be on you, you're not wearing them.
Yeah, that's a good point because your shoe is stylish, and most orthopedic shoes, they look like you ready to go to Century Village and have a piece of cake.
Man, look, I call them the granddaddy straps or the Ted Flander 3000s, bro. You don't want to wear them things, man.
All right, so let's get into your personal life. I met your girl, beautiful woman, but what's your weapon of choice when you need to zone out? What you doing? Don't tell me you're playing like PlayStation and all that crap, bro. Please.
No, it's literally music. Music is my complete tune out, especially now that I don't have to go to the booth every time to make something. If I need to make something just for the situation that I'm in, I'll just go on, have AI add it and write some lyrics together and put a little beat together, Yeah. But my biggest pastime is just music. And when I can set aside time to be in front of some water, so like my patio for my apartment or my porch or whatever oversees like a little lake river area. So I just go out there and just sit, turn some music on and just sit and look at the water. That's big for me. I don't need to do nothing else. And that's what really gets me together. Or writing. I've also wrote and illustrated 5 books that are out on Amazon. So if I really want to dive into my story or another story that I'm thinking about, I'll write a book about it.
Yeah.
So it's really just about being creative. That's what takes me out of all my funks where I'm feeling down or not getting my way about something. I just listen to some music.
Yeah. What do you think was the biggest transformation that you've had in your life that really took you from being like, clueless as to which way to go or how to conduct yourself properly to knowing the roadmap that was going to give you success?
Moving here. When I moved to Florida, it put everything in perspective. Because when I was back home, I was stressed. I mean, I was stressed on stress. I was waiting to die. I'll be honest with you. I didn't have the energy or the less of fear to take my own life, but being a type 2 diabetic, I knew there was a way for me to do it. And at some point I stopped taking all my meds. I stopped eating correctly. I just didn't care because I feel like eventually all your organs are going to stop and you're just going to die, and it's just going to happen. So that was my life in the last year or two before I moved down here. Was I was just letting myself wither away. And then when I moved here, the last job that I had when I was getting ready for my departure, the manager of that position basically told me, "You're not going to make it. You're going to go to Miami. You're going to be ending up living under a bridge. You're not going to make it for yourself when you move out there." Like, it wasn't just him though. It was a lot of people telling me, "You're going to go down to Miami and fail. You've never been there before. You're going to fail. You don't know the atmosphere." And that was my fuel. When I moved here, I was like, I can't fail. I can't let everybody win. You know, so I got down here and I just started moving. Found a job within 3 hours, you know, found my wife while I was here. I found everything that I have right now while I was here. The business, my drive, you know, I was always doing something in Cleveland, but until I came here, nothing activated. As soon as I came here, everything that I had to do or needed to do just activated, like at the snap of a finger. And I started making things happen. And now, you know, even though it's still somewhat of a struggle, I'm way better off in the last 7 years that I've been in Florida than my entire life that I was in Ohio.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is one man's prison is another man's paradise, right? So I say that to say that for some people that live in Miami, this is a prison. And they need to go somewhere else in order to find paradise. And I think one of the biggest factors is you get complacent and you get comfortable and you get set in your ways. And it's not a do or die, fight or flight situation. And then when you move away, it turns into that real quick. Yeah. Are you going to be the bum and just give up on life? Or are you going to pick yourself up and really do the damn thing and make success happen? And that's what you did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was crazy. At one point, I had a 9-to-5. I was a resident DJ for the North Miami Village. I'm freelance graphic designer. I'm teaching on the side. I'm working for this client on the side, this client on the side. I was doing about 5 or 6 jobs all at once just to make sure that I could never let anybody think that I couldn't make it out here.
But you got to find your calling. Then you got to put those systems in place so that you can automate your workflow and delegate as much as possible so that you can focus more on the creative.
Yes. And that's where we are now, for me to be able to focus more on the creative and not so much the push and pull.
Yeah, I had to learn that the hard way, man. You know what I mean? Once I got my first VA and they started taking off some of my workload, then I hired a video editor, my second VA, and I started to see myself being able to free up time and creativity time doing those tasks. I could bounce over to doing more of, you know, meet and greets and meetings and things that would bring in more accounts. And that made a big shift in the amount of money that I was making on a monthly. And then I just started doing more research, listening to more audiobooks, and I saw myself transforming into another person. And I was like, wow, you know, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep automating my company. I'm going to keep only focusing on 10X moves and drop the rest of the crap, because if you focus too much on the 2X and the little bit of paper, you lose focus on the big paper. What's going to bring in that multiplication of money for you? That's what needs to be occupying your time, not the small little increases in money. And that was the hardest thing for me to have that mind shift. And once I did that, I got clarity on how I need to move.
Yeah, no, and that's literally what it takes. You know, once you have that clarity, your moves become so much more swift and tactical.
Not only tactical, but with more purpose, and you have principles. The principles are bigger than the tacticals.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, I've been, observing, the whole journaling thing, man. I can't preach how much that's so therapeutic to, the way you move and how you accomplish things, and making yourself accountable every day for doing the things that you know are going to bring you to the next level. It's one of those practices that you need to have, and one of those things that you need to be disciplined in. And from time to time, you're going to have to change things, and you're going to have to let go of certain people, and you're going to have to let go of certain situations to get to the next level, because they're not in your frequency, man. And they're not going to take that ride with you, bro. I mean, that's just what it is.
No, it's definitely what it is. And, you know, there's a lot of friends that I have back home that I still speak to when I need to. But there's also a lot of them that I don't even reach out to anymore, because for what?
Yeah.
You're not helping me grow. You're just waiting for me to grow so that you can latch. Like, it's not that type of party, you know.
It's not. So yeah, man, that's a good observation. Now, besides the website, I know you got all your social platforms. We went through your Instagram, which is TuneZ Footwear is the Instagram. What's your TikTok? What's your Facebook? Is it all the same? Everything?
Yep, all the same across the board. TuneZ Footwear.
And if people want to get in touch with you personally, is it through one of your sites, or what's the deal?
Yeah. If you go to my website, if you go to TuneZ Footwear, go to the chat option at the bottom right corner of the screen, all those messages come to my email. So I'm the one reaching back out to you if you say anything in those chat messages. That's me actually reaching back out to you. It's not AI or separate person.
Yeah. So what's the one piece of advice you would give someone facing a major life setback who wants to turn into, a business into an empire? What kind of advice would you give them?
I can't remember first time we ever met. The sun was shining, love was gleaming in the air. You caught my eye, and next thing that I knew, I was in love. I was so in love with you. We were so close for a season of my life. I wanted so much to have you for my wife, but something changed. Season came to an end. I have to leave you, and that's where my heartache began.
Don't sit there and think about it. That's the biggest thing not to do. Do not sit there and think about it. Don't sit there and think about why you can't do it. Find out the ways that you can do it. Because if you sit there and keep second guessing yourself that it won't happen, or you don't have the resources to make it happen, then you'll never have the resources to make it happen. Speaking that negativity into the universe is sealing your fate right there. Even when I first started the business, I will be honest with you. Even though I did have no thought of getting investors as fast as I did, I didn't stop. I would have those days where I'm like, because I went a whole 15 months before I've seen any investors come in. I had a lot of people say this is a good idea, but no one was trying to put no money behind it, you know? And then one day they wanted to, and they just kept, once I had one, then I had another, and I'm working on my fourth one right now. So it's just about seeing the vision and attacking that vision. Don't let nobody get in your way, because the people that are meant to help you will help, and the people that are not meant to help you will say no. And that's the end of it. A lot of times you're going to hear 1,000 no's before you hear your first yes.
Yep, that's right. And you got to break through that frequency. You got to break through that frequency and stay with your eye on the prize. And let me tell you, man, we got a big music community. I do a lot of mentorship within the music community. As a matter of fact, I've got a masterclass coming up September 2nd at 7 p.m. For producer, DJs, artists, singers, music programmers. You want to learn how to make 5 to 7 figures. We're going to address all your pain points and give you somewhat of a roadmap, a starting point as to how to put your fan funnel together so that you can start collecting those emails and creating your VIP bundles, your retreat getaways with your fans, customized songs. And there's so many other assets, digital assets that you put together as an artist, not to mention your brick and mortar concerts. But a lot of artists out there do not think outside the box and create a fan funnel. They think that, I got 1 million Spotify listeners. Guess what? Spotify is paying a fraction of 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 a penny for every stream you get. So you ain't never going to become rich on Spotify or the rest of the DSPs. Yeah.
It's funny that you said something about Spotify. because I didn't let you know. I just built my own music streaming platform.
Okay. Tell me about it.
It's called Artist Align. It's going to have basically the same effects as Spotify, but more towards the artist's benefit. So you can see where the money's going. So you can see how much we brought in. So you can see how much you actually made and get a bigger percentage of what you're making, as well as having an ability to do distribution through the platform as well. So it's going to be a cross between, just say if TuneCore and Spotify had a baby, that's what I just built. So it's in beta right now, but I just got a good email from a white label distributor that is interested in partnering with us so that we can start our distribution platform too. So
okay, well, we got to talk because move. I have the fan funnel methodology of how artists can build a better asset for themselves when it comes to making money and not letting all these other platforms give them pennies on a dollar.
Yep.
To execute what they should own as much as they can. Being a musician is a full-time job, not a part-time job. And for many, it is a part-time job because they need a full-time job to supplement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we need to turn that tide around and give it back to the musicians. Whoever told Spotify that they wanted to get paid fractions of a penny on their music, I don't know any artist that agreed to that deal. They took it upon themselves to put that in place.
T-Pain just had a talk about this on the Club Shay Shay thing. Basically, he said Spotify never asked anybody; they just did. I went from making $1 per song to 300 of a penny per song. And he said he went ahead and sold his catalog for $100 million because it would take him 100 years to recoup $100 million from the way that they're doing everything on Spotify.
Yeah, smart man.
And I was just like, yo, that honestly what turned it up to me. And I was like, you know what? I need to make my own streaming platform because there's ways to do, especially now the way vibe coding is right now. There's ways to do it that cost so much less maintenance, and you can make a pretty decent dollar. And the person that's using your platform can also make a pretty decent dollar. So that's
let's talk because we have a big pipeline of artists, and we're looking to give them a safe community to do business in, B2B or B2C, whichever. It could be both really when you think about it, but mainly B2C because we want their fans to have a great experience and also be able to walk into a store, a digital store, and buy the stuff that they love from their favorite artists. Let's be honest, man. Every one of your super fans has a credit card, but they can't use it if you ain't got nothing to sell. Think about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's partially your fault too. You know what I mean? You need to create your own ecosystem so that your fans can buy from you and get creative with it. And those are the things that we're going to help you with. Besides making a hit record, of course, coming from radio.
Right. Besides that, you know, it'd be kind of cool if they have vending machines like that, like a vending machine that an artist can have that had a way for you to download their music on the vending machine, to buy their merch from the vending machine, to get tickets to their show from the vending machine. And it'll just sit up, near the studio somewhere. You go to a certain studio, you prop up your vending machine and have one row for this artist, another row for this artist, another row for this artist. They can buy a check from the machine. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, well, vinyl's making a comeback, so that's on the uprise.
There it is.
Yeah, it is. Is it making especially in Europe? In Europe, vinyl is very, very popular.
Oh, yeah. The way that they still hold the traditional ways of doing things is so great.
Yeah.
Like Europe still.
I want to thank you, for being on the show. We put a lot of knowledge out there, man, a lot to think about. But one thing I do want to say to my community, guys, I want you to support Michael. I want you to support TuneZ Footwear for the simple fact that it is by far the most comfortable sneaker that I've ever put on. And I co-signed this guy and I co-signed the sneaker because I believe in it. And I've had a chance to wear them now for, I want to say maybe 5-6 months now. And I kid you not, the soles are still intact. I don't wear them every single day because I'm kind of like don't want to wear them out yet. You know what I mean? I'm gonna wait till you get some more styles in because I want to buy a couple other styles. But you can go up on the website. You can go to my description, get the QR code, the link in the description. Get yourself an order, and you guys even have like a 4 interest free installment plan, right? You got like ways that you can buy them if you can't pop them off at one time.
Yeah, you could buy them, and we have the free returns within 14 days. So say you have that problem where you buy them and they don't fit. All right, we'll switch them out. I'm not having a problem with that as long as you don't go outside and get gum stains and rocks and stuff in the sole. We're good. You could definitely do that.
Yeah, you got bulk orders, you got partnership programs, all kinds of stuff.
You can wholesale.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
You have the ability to wholesale and put them in your stores if you want to, or if you just wanted to wholesale an order for you and your family, you can do that too. Just give me a ring on the website that you're trying to do something, and we'll go from there.
All right, you heard, party people. Get yourself your TuneZ sneakers ahora mismo, mi gente. Estos tenis tan de madre y tan super, super comfortable para mi gente en el frente que tan caliente. Sudamérica, you know what time it is. Let's go. Michael, man, thank you, brother. Hats off to you.
Yes, thank you. And thank you for having me on the show. And just to tap back into what I was saying about wholesale, you can even get them in your own color.
Ooh, that's a game changer.
Talk to me.
Attention producer DJs, artists, and music creators, listen up. Talent is not enough anymore. You might have the songs, you might have the skills and the sound, but listen, if you don't have a money plan, you are leaving income on the table. That is why I'm inviting you to the Music to Money Masterclass. It's happening September 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'll be joined by Billboard Songwriter of the Year and super producer Louis Martinet, the man behind massive records, legendary artists, and real music industry success. Together, we're gonna show you how to stop thinking like only a DJ, producer, or artist and start building like a music business CEO. We're gonna cover how to position your brand, promote your music, build your audience, create income streams, and turn your talent into real revenue. No fluff, no industry fairy tales, a real conversation on about what it takes to turn music into money. And I'm also giving away my free PDF, DJ Sama's Producer Profit Playbook. It gives you 10 practical ways producers, DJs, and artists can create more income beyond gigs and streams. If you want the playbook, comment the word music. Again, comment music and I'll send it to you, okay? Music to Money Masterclass is going down September 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern. I want to see you there. DJ Sama and super producer Louis Martinet will be in the house. Let's turn the music into money right away.
City to city, let's start it. You, my dad.